Assalamualaikum to all my friends and our beautiful lecturer, Madam Asia. This video will present about failing to follow standard operating procedure or SOP, bring misfortune to loved one. Before we start our presentation, let we introduce ourselves. My name Aina Sofia binti Fadilah as a project manager.
I am Nur Najiha binti Cik Abdul Rashid as a graphic designer.
I am Rebecca Hadawiyah as a writer.
I am Nurul Atika Saira binti Muhammad Hussein as an animator.
My name is Nur Izzatia Amira binti Azmi. In the team, I was assigned as a sound editor.
I will start first. Pandemic COVID-19, also known as pandemic coronavirus. Coronavirus disease is a global pandemic 2019 caused by the global severe acute respiratory syndrome coronavirus 2. COVID-19 is a very dangerous disease and can cause death. COVID-19 has killed many people regardless of age. The majority of society has been affected to this pandemic. Therefore, we must always comply with the new normal now state. We have some tips to reduce the risk of getting affected in everyday life. Here is the 5 tips. The first one is use the mask, clean your hand frequently, social distancing and avoid the crowded place, pay attention to the first symptom, and number 5 is do not share the object. Also, SOP good practice is crucial and it is one way to decide transmission COVID-19 quickly. SOP that we must obey are wearing a mask, social distancing, quarantine yourself, avoid crowded place, no handshaking, use sanitizer. Lastly, stay at home. Prevention should also be taken seriously to prevent yourself and others from being affected with this virus. If we need to go out to work or have important business, we must adhere to SOP. Next is project background. A storyboard is a visual representation of a movie sequence that divides the action into separate panels. It's a collection of drawings in a specific order, complete with camera direction, dialogue, and other important features. It depicts the shot-by-shot progression of a video. Our storyboard project tells the latest story about COVID-19. COVID-19 can harm us if we do not practice proper prevention. Our storyboard begins when an individual returns to hometown for work but the individual does not follow the SOP, which is not quarantine herself for 14 days. Our storyboard gives information to all people about COVID-19. This information can be delivered easily and give a lot of lessons about danger of COVID-19. Everyone should be concerned and alert about this. If we lose a loved one, we will regret it later. We must adopt new norms to prevent this COVID-19 transmission from continuing. Take care of yourself and your loved one.
I will continue for aim and objective of storyboard and animation. The storyboard that have been done is to make it easy for people to understand the information about COVID-19. There is some objective from the storyboard where the topic is about failing to follow standard operating procedure. The objective of the storyboard is to give awareness to people about the danger of COVID-19. Many people take easy about COVID-19. COVID-19 can cause death for people, especially people who have a chronic disease. From this storyboard, people can get information about the COVID-19. Besides that, the objective of this storyboard about failing to follow standard operating procedure. It's to show what will happen to people when do not follow SOP. failing to follow SOP can contribute to rise in COVID-19 case. From the storyboard that have been done, we can see Yana and their friend do not obey the SOP, which is they do not stay at home during movement control order, MCO. They do not wear a mask and no physical distancing. This is the most dangerous because they can spread the COVID-19 virus easily. Lastly, the storyboard also to show the people how the COVID-19 virus spread out from one person to another person. When a person sneeze, cough, talk, or touch, they can pass the virus on through the respiratory to anyone within 6 feet. The droplet can enter someone's body by landing on the nose or mouth and entering through the lung. It may also be possible to contract the virus by touching a surface where it is present and then touching the eyes, nose or mouth. The COVID-19 virus is easy to transmit from person to person.
I will continue with moral value. First moral value is equality. The COVID-19 outbreak reminds us of all the same regardless of culture, religion, profession, work or reputation. This is because no matter how much wealth or high rank you have, you will also be exposed to infection disease just like those who are poor. So this may be reminded for us to treat everyone equally. Secondly, is the impact of individual on society. If one of us is infected with this virus, it will spread one by one until all of us are infected with COVID-19. The impact on an individual, no matter how small, can ultimately have an impact on a global scale. It also reminds us that even though we are going through hardship, more and more people will face problems for a lifetime. Next is how is invaluable. This is probably an invaluable lesson and learned by everyone at this time. The COVID-19 pandemic reminds us that the help bestowed on us for free is very priceless. However, if they are infected with COVID-19, the chance of death are very high. The lesson is that no matter whether the plague hit us or not, our health should be the main theme. Next moral value is family relationship. If we were not plagued by this COVID-19 outbreak, we might not remember the importance of family member. Most of the world society at this time is racing to find wealth, so that they have forgotten the very important thing, which is the family. This epidemic also reminds us that of how much time we have wasted all this time. It's made us go home and stay at home for a while, at the same time strengthening the family ties that have been going nowhere. And lastly is work is not everything. For some of us, work is everything for them. Some work has 7 days a week and dedicate their life solely to the company. This epidemic indirectly reminds us that work is not everything. We work to life and not life to work. What needs to be emphasized is that we need to help, protect and support each other.
Next, I will move to the target audience. For target audience is for all Malaysians regardless of age. We urge Malaysians not to take lightly the current outbreak of COVID-19. We see as if Malaysians are not serious about tackling this epidemic. If we are not vigilant, many will be affected and possible even fatal. We should all instill a sense of responsibility in our effort to curb this epidemic from spreading further. We can see in Wuhan, for example, the number of new cases started to decrease because they were disciplined and obeyed the instructions not to leave the house. In addition, we as Malaysians must adhere to standard operating procedure (SOP) or rules that have been set. do not perform activities that are on the list of activities and sectors that are not allowed to operate during the period of the movement control order MCO. We should educate ourselves and those around us to improve self-discipline and always maintain personal hygiene. Next, we need to adopt preventive measures as a new norm of life as recommended by the Ministry of Health Malaysia, such as social distancing, maintaining personal hygiene, and wearing face masks when we in a public place. As a conclusion, let us help the frontliner to stop the spread of COVID-19 in our country. In creating the mini project animation, we have used some software such as Adobe Animation, Adobe Photoshop, and VoiceOver for the background. For the duration of our mini project animation is 1 minute.
Next, I will continue this presentation by presenting about the job task. Before we start doing this storyboard, our project manager has assigned the respective tasks for each of our group members. For the project manager, this task has been carried by Aina Sofia. The first task she does is assign the position to others team member. Besides that, as a project manager, she has a big responsibility. For example, she has to keep an eye on how well the project tasks are executed by the team members to ensure that each of them understand what is expected at each stage of the project. Not only that, but she also has to ensure the quality of the project produced meets the requirement of our goals. Next, the job as a graphic designer. This job has been assigned to the Nur Najiha. First of all, as for our project, our terms is about the pandemic COVID-19. She has prepared the work to be done by gathering all the information and come up with the concept of the project. Then, she illustrates the concept by designing the layout of the storyboard and show her final design to other team members. After the discussion with the team members and make a little improvement, she has prepared the final design that will be used in the storyboard. Besides that, tasks as a writer also important to accomplish this project. This task has been carried out by Rabiatul. As a writer, she has to develop the script for this storyboard based on her and her teammates' ideas. Before she come out with the script, she has to understand very well the storyline that she will deliver to the audience. When writing the script, she has put herself in the audience situation so that she can come out with an attractive script and know which script she should use to avoid the boringness of the audience. She also responsible for describing the stories in detail, and she also has to produce a synopsis for each of a storyboard so that it will be easier for the audience to understand the storyline. Not only that, she also has to ensure that the storyline will be interesting so that it can attract the audience attention. And for animator's job, it was given to Atika. This task require her to do animation on the storyboard. She also had to work creatively to produce the animation. And to do that, she has used the Adobe Animate apps that have been suggested by our lecturers. This task also require more patience as the process of doing the animation is quite difficult, and she had to focus on every step so that the preparation of animation can be seen smoothly. After that, she showed her job to the other teammate so that she can make an improvement if the animation she provide did not meet their requirement. After all, her job has been satisfied by her teammates, including the project manager. Lastly, the sound for editor. It has been carried by Izati. The sound editor is the creative genius behind the sound used in the video production. The final sound assortment play an important artistic role in matching the sound to the visual production. Izzati has done all jobs related to sound. For example, she has made the sound for the dialogue. She found the suitable sound for each scene in the storyboard, and she also has found the suitable sound for the background of the project. Sound has played an important role in this storyboard because with the right sound, the story will be more interesting to see.
Next, we move to the schedule. This is Gantt chart of our schedule during completing storyboard and animation. We start our project at week 5, where we get the instruction from our lecturer, and at the same time, we start to create the idea for storyboard. We discuss with our team members on what topic we choose, and we divide tasks among the members. At the week 6, we already complete storyboard, and we continue with completing the project proposal from week 7 until week 8. For the week 9 until week 11, we use for construct animation, where it took long time to finish it. During making animation, we include sound effect, special effect, and dialogue to make our animation more interesting for audience. We successfully complete the animation at week 12. During making this project, it gives us more knowledge and give new experience.
As a conclusion, we really enjoyed during creating COVID-19 animation project because we learned a lot about animation techniques. Besides that, we also learned about how to correct every specific issue with our animation. For example, we can add ease to the movement of characters and objects and adjusting the volume of the sound effect used in our animations. Next, from the animation and storyboard that we have been done, there are many information that the viewer can get. The viewer can get the moral value from what have been happened that we show in animation and storyboard. Lastly, we hope from the animation that we have been done, it can give the awareness to the whole people about the dangers of COVID-19. So that's all from us. Thank you.